On this recess, it's not that deep, so it's not that difficult to do. I'm going to show you one of the ways that I would do it. And then you can come right here. We use our slither to cut the backing or body fender. Come right here, open, put tension right here, and it will cut the line, the backing paper just fine. Then before, we fold it over so we can grab the material a little bit. And we come right here, we put it down, so that way, again, you're covering the glue and you're not getting any contaminations underneath, okay? So let's put it there. Okay. We're gonna stick this area so it doesn't move on us, okay? And then I'm gonna release the backing on the top. Then right here, I will grab it and go with the surface. That way, you're not exposing the glue. And if you're working outside, that's a good way to do it, because you get the wind, you get this. Okay, so we here on the recess. If you see the material still easy to work with until I put pressure. I always like to squeegee from the center out, the center out. If you start from here, you see how the material is pushing, so chances are that you're gonna create a crease. So you start from the center out. On this recess, on this one, I would like to walk the material, so that means I will have my squeegee, my soft squeegee, or my glove, and I can do it in different ways. You can come right here and basically leave this open if it's the top part, and basically walk in the material. Okay, see, no heat. You just put your fingers on it, and because it has no tension, you walk the material in, the material won't come back because you basically walk in the material. If you got bubbles like this, you can easily peel it back. I always say don't be afraid of the material. If you need to peel it back, and basically you're walking the material in. With your squeegee, it's almost the same technique. You push it in evenly, and then you walk in the material, all right? On this one, I can, because it's so light, I can come and basically with the heat gun, I always like to heat up the material so you relax first, and then I like to squeegee. You see how close I am to the material, but I'm moving fast. You see how the fingers, they shrink and then they go away and relax. So you can basically see, squeegee the air out and it will go right away. These type of wrinkles, you just peel it back and then you can squeegee that material. Right here is the same technique of the bridge, but it's because it's so small, you can't leave a lot. So you just heat right there real good the first time, and then you heat up on top. Then with your finger, start always on the center, way out, heat up a little bit again right here. You just put your way out right here. It's so small that if you leave excess material like a bridge, it will go in with no issue. And then you come right here, heat up again, see if it bubbles. We got a little bubble right there, but because we work the material in, we push the material in, it will go away. So, and then you just keep squeezing. See how the material sounds? Because I'm putting the first push that I did, I don't put too much pressure. If you put too much pressure, you're gonna get the material stuck. If you go literally like slicing the material, even these little wrinkles right here, you can go with the finger because they have no tension. You can get it out super quick and easy, okay? Obviously, I close myself right there, so, but we can come right here. If you close yourself on a groove and readjust, you heat up your light again, and the material is fine. So that's a good thing about this material, that if you make a mistake, you can just peel it back and readjust. You can do that 2-3 times. Obviously, if you do it too much, you're gonna get dirt behind, and chances are that after a while, it's gonna lose the, the initial tag. We come right here again, we can heat up real close. We come again real close. I give a couple of seconds so it cools down a little bit. And you're gonna feel with your glove if it gets stuck, because you want it to be hot but not super hot, because then your glove or squeegee won't slide. Okay, so on this one it's a little more complicated. Again, we're gonna come right here, we're gonna see the high point. On these ones, if you push it in, I can come right here, the material will take the stretch, but chances are that it's gonna peel. If you come right here and just heat up like this and put tension and come right here and do this, I can guarantee you it's gonna fail. I did many ones of this. The best chance that you have with these type of groups right here is if you walk them in. See? Again, a little bit of heat. We let the material rest for a couple seconds. If you heat the material if you heat up the material a lot, you want to give it a couple seconds so it cools down. Never work on the material when it's super hot. So right here, okay, we got it like that. I'm gonna stick this right here. And then I'm gonna cut the excess so we got access to the back. Then right here, you wanna start with your soft squeegee. This is soft, so it flex. If you're using a rigid one, then it will be a little bit harder to do, like this one. And then there's another one that is even harder. So I recommend the soft one, so the squeegee conforms to the surface. And with your other hand, basically, you're just gonna keep the material away from sticking. Okay, if you see, I'm doing this cold. So if it's cold and you walk the material in, it's not gonna come back. It takes more time, but this is one of the only ways that you know it's not gonna fail. And at the end, that's what we all want, that the material don't fail. Okay, if you see, I put this part of the groove completely with no heat, but now we got the tension right here. We just need to come over here, lift the material a little bit, heat up a little bit, heat up a little bit. See how basically with no squeegee, the material conforms to the surface. Again, leave the material resting right here, the fingers, you lift it a little bit, you heat up, and the material will conform again. Okay. Then you come with your squeegee, with your wrap glove, and stick the rest. And if you see, this way, the graphic didn't disturb at all. For these grooves, this is one of the only ways I recommend that you walk the groove if you're trying to push it in, because you don't have too much space here to use the bridge technique. So I prefer to walk that in. That way I know me or any installer is not gonna get bubbles right here, because if they walk the material in, I can guarantee you it's going nowhere. And right here, we just keep applying. and the graphic has no distortion at all. So that's a good technique for this type of groove. Like I said, on this one, I can show you how to do the cut and drop, but because it's so small, we won't be able to do it a lot, but I'm gonna do it anyway so you have an idea of how it is, okay? Actually, I'm gonna grab another piece so I can show you right away, okay? So this one is the SLX, the very first one. So the initial tag of this one is almost none. You're gonna see in a minute. We can use the sliotar, or this is another way to remove the graphic. You can come right here, peel a little bit, fold it in, tuck it in. If you got a magnet, save yourself so it doesn't peel it doesn't fail on you, because on this one, the initial tag is so low that if I come right here and peel it, it's gonna come on me. So take this one out, and then just peeling. The same technique we use for the hood. We save the material right here, and then we come all the way down. That way, the material is not contaminated. On this one, it's even a little bit tacky right now. Maybe it's the temperature, but super low tack. See, I almost don't stick. Even if I stick it, it comes out real easy. Okay. So let me save it right here. We have finish line right there. So in a big group, you want to put your knifeless tape inside. On this one, I can do it. I cannot do it like that because it's so small, but you'll be in the inside like this, right? You're gonna put a knifeless tape inside. Leave yourself a big in both sides, because if you don't leave a big excess right here, then it's kind of tricky to get out. So we're gonna come right here. Basically, we're gonna heat up. If we will have a big recess, then I will do the heating. You come right here, push it in a little bit, heat up again. Then from the center out, you push in, heat up so it doesn't cool down too much. Wait a couple seconds, push in. Usually the vinyl on top of the knifeless tape doesn't stick really well. So if you see like it's not sticking on the knifeless tape, that's normal, because it's not sticking on the knifeless tape. Once you do your groove with knifeless tape, you push it in, you come right here, fold it over like this, put your finger right here, and with one big pull, you take that one out. We already passed the start of the vinyl, so we just make one pull and keep going. And as you go, if you're doing curves, you have to pull the knifeless tape the way you put the knifeless. If I come right here and I pull down, it's gonna cut differently. And then if I switch it to the top, it's gonna create a curve on that knifeless tape. So every time you do knifeless tape, you wanna go with the knifeless tape, okay? Then we come right here and we take, there are always gonna be two tapes. The very first one, if you take one first, it should be the one that you see from outside, and then the other one is the one that you don't see. So you have to take both out. You can take one first and then the other one. Usually when you take the one out first, when it touches the final, it lifts a little bit of the one that is inside. That's something the knifeless tape does. Then we open the groove, we push it in first with the hand or the squeegee, a soft push, because if it's cricket or it's jam, when you put that much force, you're gonna jam it more. So you wanna go slow first, and then you create a big push. You come right here, you heat up, Push again. And that way, you know, your groove is not gonna come anywhere because you already open it, so you release that stretch on the groove. Again, on this one, it's a little bit complicated to see it because it's so small, but on a big groove, you will see if you put too much stress, you will see the material shrinking back on you, and that's what we don't want. We want the material to relax on that groove. So this is a perfect example of the grooves. Again, if you did something wrong on this one, like I already said, we can take it off easily. See how good it is? I can use it again. So we put it right here. If I got a big piece, what I'm trying to do, well, first, you can tape those. So if you're gonna cut right there, you don't cut them. But if I got a piece like this, what I like to do is either slice it, do a little bit of a slice, smaller, but it has to be, like I told you, like a round thing. So it doesn't open on you, right? And you basically are gonna do a little rectangle, but with no sharp points, okay? Don't do it too big, because if you do it too big, then when you're gonna fit it in, it's gonna be way too big. Again, on these areas, on these ones, you can fit it in with no issue. On these ones, I always go only 1/2 inch in right here. So basically the body line help us. You can put knifeless tape right here, a little bit above right here, the edge, and that's completely fine. You don't need to get yourself crazy trying to fit it on the back. You just explain and educate the client that this is the right way to do it, because it's more effective for us to install, and then you don't have that excess material lifting right here and probably bubble up because you're trying to wrap every single thing out of the car. On these ones, I'm gonna show you one of the techniques. Let me put this right here. You can do that hole small, take away the material with your hands on the back. Be sure that they're clean so you don't get contamination on the material. You heat it up real good. You're gonna see the material that is too hot because it gets really gummy. You can see how it flies, right? So I'm gonna start opening this. And then I'm just gonna literally when it's a little bit colder, I start pushing in the material into here. Once you got it like that, you see? Sorry. Now you start heating up again real nice and slow so the material will go to the original form. And because it's flat technology, you see how it moves. So that's a way you create small circle or small shape with no sharp edges. You heat it up and you basically open a little bit and then work the material in. So, and right here, let me see if I can just finish it so you can see. Then just squeeze it in. And you have an access point, so if you make a mistake or something, you work this side, you finish it, put it nice right there, and then if you make a mistake, you can slice it right here and fix it. See, and even right here, we didn't reach that much, but something like that, it will be acceptable. You can go crazy because if I got the big piece, I can come right here and just stick this side, slide it, and then with the material, I walk it in. So I can show you that too. Let me see if I can do it right here with this one. I can come right here and let me stick the left side for you so I can slide it and open it. So stick it right there. Something about the SLX is that you can actually, once it's warm, you can pull. You can pull the material when it's warm, and it's gonna respond. So you come right here, let's say you stick it right there, right? You come and open here. All right, so you stick that part, and now you come to this side, you heat up again, so it goes to the original form, not too much, because then it will shrink, and then you just work yourself in right here. You can slide it right here, work it down right here with the tip. You can open right here. You can work this side. That way you can do that same thing on this one, and you just push it in. You finish this side, use this to open, and then work it into the other side. That's another way you can do it for this type of stuff. When you have a big piece, I would like to mark with a pencil. I will create a circle, and then I will open it, work them in, and then I will start laying down. Before I even lay down anything, I open, when I have it in place, I open this so I can push it in each one first, and then when I have it in, I start squeegee all around. Most of the people will come right here, and they do create a bubble right here, and they will open, but if you create that bubble, you are creating fingers. So if you make it tighter, when you cut, chances are that all those edges are gonna peel back because you put too much tension on that, on whatever you're doing on that hinge in this case, you're putting too much tension on that part.